for the 6th. And I'm excited about our staff. I like the team that we have on, the continuity that we've got of the guys that are coming back and the new pieces coming in. Unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, we've got about 82 days before we kick this thing off.
You mentioned being in all these different spots around the country, different cities around the country. Is that something new for you as a head coach at UNLV? Did you do this at Arkansas, back at Missouri? What's the concept behind it?
Yeah, I think number one, recruiting has got to be the lifeblood of a program, and you hear everybody say that. I mean, that's the tagline in college sports, but it's so important. I figured out a long time ago I'm a lot better coach with really good players, and the only way you do that is you're select and you're direct in the recruiting approach. And I learned a lot in the SEC, whether it be at Missouri or at Arkansas, on the overall foundational approach to recruiting. And you have to do it every single day. You've got to have, the physical characteristics and qualities that you're looking for by position, but also, more importantly, I think at this point in college football, it's roster management. And you've got to try to predict in 2 signing classes what you're really going to be looking for. And then, recruiting that happens so early now for prospects. We got to get in and evaluate them early. And there's nothing like, to me, on being able to see a kid in person and to be able to put them through drills, watch them do, the testing. But then also, when kids come to our camp, it's not just height, weight, 40 and vertical. Our position coaches, they've got them in position drills for 45 minutes. We're going to do some testing. We're going to change direction drills. I mean, they should be a better football player when they leave our camp. And I think that's important because, there's a lot of guys that like the recruiting process. I don't know how many guys really like the ability to go work and go earn it. So there's still a great value in guys coming to your campus, working out and showcasing their skill set and what that is. And then, you find a lot about a guy when you've got a chance to spend 2.5 to 3 hours with him on, does he really like ball? Does he like the recruiting process, or does he like ball? And for us, the toughness, the character, the values of really liking the preparation part of getting ready for a season, those are so valuable in our recruiting philosophy and process.
Barry Odom is with us, head coach of UNLV football. UNLVtickets.com is where you go to get your season tickets. Right now, season tickets start as low as $150. The top end is $500. Still very, very affordable on the recruiting trail. First of all, let's talk 2023 because I saw the intro video, move-in day, and I've been trying to keep track of this. You guys are pulling players from freaking every corner of the country, and I'm like, where? I mean, I'm doing a lot of research. When your guys come to you, right, your coaches come to you, are there times where you're like, wait, what is East Central University? Or wait, who's in Fresno? How does this whole thing work? And how do you get kind of pitched on not only scholarship dudes, but you guys are also bringing in a bunch of walk-ons?
Yeah, I think it's so important that, number one, you identify the needs that you need in your program to help you win immediately, and then you go find the right fit for that. I want to recruit the city of Vegas, and I don't want to make any confusion about that. There's in the direct city, there's 36 high schools, and I want Vegas kids to stay home. And we've got to turn it into it's our town, our team, and this is us. And anything that you want to achieve as a college student athlete and football player, we're going to get done at UNLV. There's great coaches here in the high school ranks. There's really, really good talent. We've got to be able to recruit Vegas and keep kids here. Once we do that, then also, I don't know why in the world you wouldn't want to come to UNLV. I don't care where you're living in the country. You can get a direct flight. There's only one Vegas in the world. Okay, well, let's use that, and let's make sure that we build an elite program. So that's the approach that I'm taking. I refuse to believe that we will not and cannot get it done. That I won't believe that. We're going to get this done. So there's good players everywhere, and you've got to go find them. It comes down to the relationship piece of recruiting with the high school coach, the parent or guardian, and then ultimately the kid. And there's no substitute for that. It takes time and it takes effort. That's how you build a relationship. So where this coaching staff has been for their career, we've got connections all over the country. I think once we get kids on campus, they see the Fertitta complex, they see our campus, they get in Allegiant. and I'll hold our 48-hour visit up against anybody's in the country. And ultimately, guys, it comes down to the people in the buildings and how we're getting this thing turned around. So if you are in Florida or New York or Washington or Phoenix, Arizona or Dallas, Texas, we're going to go find you. And I want guys to understand how important it is that, not only the Vegas kids, but we got to find a way to get kids on campus, because once we do that, we got a great chance of getting them.
So we can't talk about the 2024 commits specifically, but notice that you got some local kids. On the flip side of that, 2023, it looks like you have some walk-ons.
And you know what?
Yeah,
in the 24 class,
yeah.
There's Vegas it is an unbelievable class in Vegas.
Good deal.
And if we can hit those guys, then our program takes a step forward. I'm really excited about this group that we have here locally.
With 2023, how big is it to kind of lay a little bit of a base by being local friendly? I noticed you have a walk-on from Liberty. You have Juwan Claiborne, who's back in town from Gorman, a second and third chance kid. That's got to be a positive to send a message that, hey, you know what, there's going to be times where, hey, we can be your home even if you're not the most highly recruited guy.
I think it's so important. Number one, you brought up a word that I think it's going to be huge to the development of our program. It's our walk-on program. And, you only get 85 scholarships. That's the rule. So then how can you build the next 15, the next 20, the next 25 kids that are good enough? They're fringe players for whatever reason, but they're good enough to come in and you can develop them, and the process of what that looks like into turning them into college student athletes that can play winning football. That's an important piece, because we can't waste a spot on any of them. And it's so important that we can identify guys that are good football players. They may be missing character trait in some sense, but also understanding the developmental phase that we think we can get them there. You measure vertical jump, broad jump, 40-time explosiveness. Those things, if they maybe aren't fully developed yet as a football player, those things are in the way that we approach prospects and look at that. Okay, if they're athletic, they can run, they can jump, then it's our job to turn them into really good football players. And a lot of times that happens in the walk-on program. I'm really excited about some guys that we've been able to add in that capacity that may have the local flavor to them that for whatever reason where they were, it didn't work out, and they end up back at UNLV.
Barry Odom's with us, head coach at UNLV, coaching the football program. We were just talking about highfalutin folks around town who are getting tickets to go to VGK tomorrow. Are you going to the game for the clincher here if they can win the Stanley Cup?
What a great run they've had. I mean, I've been to 2 or 3 of their games, and they've got it figured out. It's off the charts. The environment, the atmosphere, so special, and you want to capture that and find a way to make that our game day. I won't be there in person unless somebody wants to throw me a couple tickets. So
Come on, Vegas!
No, no, we're gonna watch it together. I think some of the staff and some of the guys are gonna watch it together. We look forward to it, and they've been a lot of fun to follow. It would be so awesome for the city for us to go get this win.
Can you take messages from hockey and this coaching staff with Cassidy and apply it to your football program?
Absolutely. I think my players look at me because I'll use every sport imaginable. There's lessons everywhere. You learn from experiences. You learn from other people going through things in their sports season, teamwork and hard work and the values of what that looks like. I've got a library of things that I'm going to use from this year's team once we get started in fall camp. It's been tremendous to watch.
Last one, I noticed you were making some waves recruiting in the Kansas City area, and I saw your mentions of a couple of KC barbecue joints. I'm not going to argue with you, and Adam isn't either, because I know Adam's been to Kansas City many times. I will say this. Have you been able to find some barbecue joints locally, or you just stick to Kansas City?
No, have you seen me lately in person? I mean, I like food. I like to eat. So there's Vegas is unmatched in the world in the food scene, and I've been able to try just about as many varieties of food as I can, and it's unbelievable. And the Kansas City connection there was with how we're recruiting in that city. a message to some of the high school coaches and how I was wording that. So excited about the opportunity to recruit in places that we've been before and we know, and trying to find the best players we can to come help us win a championship.
Coach, let's close on this. Where's the best place for the rest of the camps that there's some availability at? Where can people go to get involved?
Yeah, everything's on the website, on UNLV football website. We got our online registration there. We've got a camp the 16th, the 24th. We've got a 7-on-7 that we're hosting a number of schools from here in the city on the evening of the 23rd. Just a lot of great things going on. And then, the month of July becomes a dead period as at least of prospects coming on campus. So we're going to try to hit it hard and heavy here for the rest of June and build this team ready to go compete in the 23 season.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate it.
Barry Odom, football head coach at UNLV. 5 hour on the way.